everyone. Today's video is especially for the ladies. So if you're a lady and you're watching this video, please keep watching. But if you're a male and you're watching this video, please be sure to share this video with all the females that you know. Okay, let's get started. So a lot of times we hear about the Proverbs 31 woman, or we read about the Proverbs 31 woman, or we're told about the Proverbs 31 woman, and we're even told to be like her. We're told to aspire to be a Proverbs 31 woman. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like the Proverbs 31 woman has been put so highly, so much so that all the other women in the Bible are almost like a shadow. Like we barely hear about the other women in the Bible. And so I'm so excited that the Lord has allowed me this opportunity to share with you about Abigail. That's who we're going to be talking about. We're going to be looking at the life of Abigail, and we're going to be seeing what we can learn from Abigail's story and what exactly happened with Abigail, and what it means to be a woman like Abigail was. So this video, I'm going to break it up into 3 parts just because we can't do everything in one video. So be sure to watch all 3 of them so that you learn as much as possible from the story of Abigail. In this video, I'm just basically going to be introducing the story of Abigail, and we're going to be talking a little bit about who she was and her background and her story. So, we first meet Abigail in 1 Samuel chapter 25. And what happens is that David is living in hiding from Saul because Saul is trying to destroy him. And he lives very close to this guy named Nabal. They're in the caves somewhere there, and they're living close to this guy named Nabal. Now, David is living with his men, and he's been living in hiding for a while, and he's run out of food. He's running out of food. And so what he does is he sends his men to say, go to Nabal and ask for food. Now, Nabal is a very, very rich man, but he's very foolish. And Nabal is married to Abigail. And Abigail is beautiful and diligent. Some versions describe her as intelligent or well-behaved. But the most common ones are that she was beautiful and well-behaved or intelligent. So he's married to this beautiful, you have a foolish man married to a beautiful, intelligent woman. So David sends his men to Nabal to go and ask for some food. Now when the men get to Nabal, Nabal insults David, and he refuses to give food to David. Now the word goes back to David, but what happens is one of those men go to Abigail and they explain what has happened with Nabal. Now Abigail is very wise. And what she decides to do is that she decides to pack food and to send the food ahead. And she says to her men, take the food ahead. And she tells them to take it to David. And she decides that I'm going to go and give this food to David, but I'm not going to tell my husband about it. So these men go ahead of her, and she's going behind. Now, remember, the word has gotten back to David, and David is very angry. He's very angry that, this happened, that Nabal insulted him like that, and he has decided that he's going to go and kill Nabal. And Abigail probably heard this, and she thought that, you know what, if David comes here to kill my husband, most likely he's going to kill me too, and I'm also going to be, in trouble. So she decides to go and give this food to David, but she doesn't tell her husband. So she goes with her men, and now on her way there, David is also on his way now. He was on his way to kill David. So what happens is Abigail she sees him from afar. She gets off her donkey and she goes to greet David. Well, from far actually. She bows down, and she now what happens between the dialogue between David and Abigail is that Abigail begins to persuade David not to kill Nabal and to accept the food that she's brought for them. And then later on we see that what happens is that Nabal dies, and Abigail becomes David's wife. So I've tried to make a brief summary of the story, and I said that this is just the first video. So please watch out for the next 2 videos so that we can go more into depth about who Abigail was. I'm just quickly going to give you a few pointers. Remember that I said that Abigail was beautiful, she is wise. So far we've already seen, just by giving a brief summary of the story, we've seen that she was beautiful, that she was wise, she was intelligent, well-behaved, and yeah, she was brave actually. She was courageous. She had the courage to go to David and to go. She without telling her husband. She went kind of behind her husband's back to go to David and offer food, so that she could protect her family. So already we can see that there's just so much that's exciting about the story of Abigail. Well, it excites me, so I hope it will excite you too. So yeah, watch out for the next 2 videos so that we can go through in detail what exactly we can learn from this woman Abigail. Bye guys, remember Jesus loves you so much.